Hello and welcome. This is class number 38 of the quick revision series for Prelims 2024. I hope all of you are doing good and you have not missed out on any of the classes of this series. All of these are extremely important. In case you missed out on any of the earlier classes, I am giving the link in the description of the video. Please go through the playlist and watch the class that you might have missed due to whatever reason. Also, there's a very important announcement I want to share with all of you. I'm launching the first ever comprehensive course on my platform, that is a UPSC Mastering Mains Answer Writing program. This will be launched after the prelims exam is over. This is not just a mains test series. Please do understand this. This is much more than that. This is helpful for those who are writing mains in 2024 or even in 2025. This will help you build a sound foundation of how to write answers. So just a bit of detail of how we go about it. Basically, what will happen in this course is every single week, I will give you a study target for the week. That this is the course that you have to cover in this week. At the end of the week, I'll give you a subjective type paper. Based on that, you will write answers to that. I will personally check, evaluate, give you feedback. And then every single week, we will have a one-on-one call. I'll meet with you personally one-on-one. We will discuss how your preparation was, we will discuss what is the progress in answer writing and how can we go forward. In the end of the course, we will have a test series as well. So this is how the course is looking like. Again, the exercise is to handhold you from the very basics of answer writing to the level of the UPSC. With every single week, the level of questions will keep on increasing. So we'll start with basic level question and then we'll move on and try and increase the level. In the entire program, you will be able to write about 500 plus answers. Again, there are two separate batches for this program, one for 2024 and one for 2025 students. I'll be sharing other details soon. In case you want to ask any questions about this, you can always email me. I give you my email ID at the end of every class, but here it is, harshmeetsir@gmail.com. Feel free to mail here. I'll be coming out with other details about the exact date of starting, the fee structure, etc. will be out very soon. Now let's go back to where we were. We were discussing places in news. This class and the next class, both of these will be specifically on the places in the news. In the last class, we discussed about some international places that are outside India that have been in the news for various reasons. In this class, we are discussing those news or those places rather that have been in the news in India. Let's look at this map. These were some of the places that were in the news for various reasons. Let's look at why they were in the news. First, the Kalesar National Park was in the news. It is in the Shivalik Ranges in Haryana. It was in the news because the Haryana Forest Department is launching efforts to trace the pug marks of the tiger that was caught in this area. So in this national park, they found on the cameras the existence of some tiger, so they were trying to trace the presence of tiger. That is why it came in the news. Then we had the Anji Bridge that was in the news in Jammu and Kashmir. It is constructed over the Anji River, which is a tributary of the Chenab River. It will be the first cable stayed railway bridge in the country. That is why it is important. Similarly, Hemas Monastery, the famous Buddhist monastery in Leh, was in the news in the G20 summit. There were many delegates that visited it. The Tungnath temple in Rudraprayag, Uttarakhand, again in the news. It is the highest Shiva temple in the entire world. It is considered to be the third of the 5 Panch Kedars of Uttarakhand. It is believed to have been built by Adi Shankaracharya. Tawang Monastery from Arunachal Pradesh was also in the news. It was the largest monastery in India and the second largest in the entire world after the one in Lhasa, Tibet. In some other places in news were the Palak Lake, the biggest and the largest lake in Mizoram. It is a major component of the Palak Wildlife Sanctuary. This was in the news because of the live event that our Prime Minister had launched. Then other places in the news include the Parala Khirmudi railway station, Channapatna and Bhimgarh Wildlife Sanctuary. And we have given why they were in the news. Channapatna is very famous for toys. It's a very famous place in Karnataka. It's not very far from Bangalore, to be true. It's very famous for wooden toys. It is important because the Prime Minister in the past few months has been focusing a lot on toy industry. He has been trying to give a push to toy industry in India, because in India we did not have a lot of manufacturing of toys. It had a lot of export potential as well. That is why it has been in the news. These toys have also been given the GI tag. So do remember all of these. Some other places in the news are in these map. For example, the Abohar Wildlife Sanctuary in Punjab. The entire area of the sanctuary is private or community owned land of about 13 Bishnoi villages. It is famous for the black bucks that are on the verge of extinction in Punjab. Then we have the Kareri Lake in Himachal Pradesh. Again in the news, it is considered as very famous for snow pelting Dauladhar range that serve as the source of the lake. Police has rescued about 39 tourists that were stranded in this lake. Sharan Powerhouse was in the news, again from Himachal Pradesh. Very old powerhouse, commissioned in 1932. The Adi Kailash in the news is one of the 5 Kailash mountains, believed to be the humble abode of Lord Shiva, believed to be the home of Lord Shiva. The Beki River of Assam was also in the news. It comes in from Bhutan. In Bhutan, it is known as the Kurisu River. It also flows to the Manas National Park. The other places that you see in this map. Next important place in the news was Zemithang. This is the place where a big Buddhist conference was held in Arunachal Pradesh. This is located in the Tawang district, and it is considered as home to Pengchenpa people, also known as the people who have given up sin. It is located on border with Bhutan and Tibet. Similarly, there are tiger reserves, the Golconda Fort and the Gira waterfall that have been in the news for various reasons, and the reasons have been given here. Another set of places in the news again are these that you see on the map, starting with Safdarjung Tomb, then the Ghagar River, the Ranjit Sagar Dam in Punjab, the Pangong Tso because of China, the Sohagi Barwa Wildlife Sanctuary in Uttar Pradesh. Again, as I told you in the last class also, there is not a lot of information to remember in these cases. What you have to remember is just a couple of lines, and mostly the stuff that has been highlighted, that has been made into bold here, so that just in case the UPSC does ask question with regards to why is it in the news, you should know about it, because these kind of questions are asked by the UPSC. Other places are the Rudragiri Hilak in Andhra Pradesh. It is a site where prehistoric rock painting from Mesolithic period has been found. We also have the Burachapori Wildlife Sanctuary in Assam, that is in the news. The Puttaparthi, Mekadatu Reservoir, all of these have been in the news due to various reasons. And again, couple of lines for each of these so that you can remember easily. Then the major ports in India. Now ports, we are discussing all the major ports. So there are major ports and minor ports in India. Major ports are those that are under central government. Minor ports are those that are controlled by the state government. We are not discussing some port in the news, but we are generally discussing all the major ports in India with their location, so that you can actually get an idea. These are the major ports, and if there is something unique in them, you can remember. So we'll see what is unique. For example, we have the Deen Dayal port, that is in Gujarat. It is also known as the Kandla port. It is a major hub for petroleum, chemical and iron. Petroleum because one of the world's largest oil refineries is in Jamnagar in Gujarat. So obviously that is why most of the petroleum would come there, so that it is closer to that refinery. The famous Mumbai port, then the Jawaharlal Nehru port, also known as the Nhava Sheva port. It is the second largest container port in India after the Mundra port in Gujarat. Then we have the Mormugao port in Goa. It's an old port. It has been in use since the Second World War. The New Mangalore port, the Kochi port that we have. Kochi is a major port in the Arabian Sea side. It is the first transshipment port in India. Apart from that, the other ports that are in the news are the Tuticorin port. It is second place in the list of the largest ports in India. It's in Tuticorin, Tamil Nadu. It is located in the Gulf of Mannar. Then we have the Chennai port, the Kamarajar port, the Visakhapatnam port, Paradip port and the Kolkata port. Again, these are the major ports that we have, and these are the important things about those ports. Like for the Kolkata port, this is the oldest operating port in India, constructed by the East India Company as old as 1870. Similarly, Paradip port is important because it is situated at the confluence of Mahanadi River and the Bay of Bengal. It was commissioned in 1966. The Visakhapatnam port is the only major port in Andhra Pradesh, third largest state-owned port in India. These are the important major ports that we have in the country. We have 2 more classes to go. The next class will be again about places in news, and the last class will be about tricks and tips that you should keep in mind while attempting the prelims examination. Do stay tuned. As I promised, we'll be wrapping this up by the 5th of June at max. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.